watching Louisiana First News this morning at 8:30.
When Sarah was little, she used to love to pretend to be a cat.
Something grabbed me.
Wow, I absolutely love that trailer. A Louisiana-based production company is making waves with this upcoming project, Kid Paranormal, a family-friendly supernatural adventure filmed right here at home. Now, joining us now is the filmmaker for this film, Joe Mexican, and Adison Salcedo, an LSU student who also stars in the film. And I have to say, something unique about this film is also that you guys are father and daughter.
Yes.
Super cool. So first off, how is that just working alongside each other?
Wow. Well, I loved having my own daughter there. It wasn't easy because, whenever you have that father-daughter dynamic, it gets a little
some pressure.
Yeah, it's the pressure. Yeah, she wants to look up to dad, but at the same time she knows I'm dead. So, but it was just some great times. She still tells me when we're going back to set to this day. So.
Now, Adison, this is your acting debut, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel?
It feels amazing. I never knew that acting would be one of the skills that I was like born with. I remember the times my father would be on set as a director or producer, and I would just roam around and see how he works through the filming industry. And so being an actress is really inspiring, and it really makes me feel like I'm unique.
I love that. Now, let's get into the film a little bit. Yeah. Taps into the supernatural world. Now, Adison, your character is Adie, and she has some supernatural powers where she can see and talk to ghosts. Talk about that, and you're going on this journey with your friend Lily in the film. So talk about the idea behind this story.
Well, the story surrounded with these two girls who were paranormal investigators. They then started a paranormal investigating business, which then leads into them solving a murder mystery that will also lead them into kind of like danger. And the funny thing was that we were actually paranormal investigators before we even decided to make the movie. And I'm not going to lie, when we did our first case, I was really scared.
I was gonna ask, because I'm a little bit scary too, but I was watching it just to see, like, am I gonna get scared watching the trailer? So is it something that's like super, super duper scary, or, can you watch it with some family and friends and be okay?
Well, it's actually, one of my biggest inspirations in all my life was the Ghostbusters. And I also loved, since I was a kid, 5 years old, I watched The Exorcist. I don't know how I did that. But,
right.
Yeah, but I ended up using all my inspirations and brought kind of like a family-friendly movie, but with some scares in it. So it's my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old have actually watched the movie since they've seen me edit it. And they get spooked at some point, but the overall feel of the film is very family-friendly.
Now, it's enough spook to, like, that exciting spook, like, where you jump, but then you all laugh it off, versus that, like, scared to go to bed at night type of spook.
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of person you are.
Okay. So I guess you just have to see. Now, you guys released the trailer on October 31st.
Correct.
This will release next year. Now, talk about how this is different from maybe some of the other films that you've produced over the years.
Well, this one, I'm the executive producer. I actually invested my money in it, so I'm the sole owner of the film at this point. And all the films I used to work for, I worked for somebody, and I was, this is my first film that I can actually say is mine. Well, besides Diamonds in the Dirt, which I was the executive producer of that film as well. But
right, and Diamonds in the Dirt is, for those who don't know, tells the story of different artists who started right here in Baton Rouge, artists like, of course, Boosie and a couple other ones. But
correct.
Now, when we talk about this film, talk about some of the other characters and what we can expect from that aspect.
Well, I brought in John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard. He plays Mr. Simon, and I have Olivia Brown from Miami Vice. She plays Miss Creel, and you actually can see him. It's actually the teaser. I have a bigger trailer that's coming, about 2 months before we release the film. I think me and Brittany Van Dyke, which is my co-writer, we brought these characters that kind of make you feel it kind of fall in love with them. You know, they have a lot of good lines, a lot of lines that'll catch, you know, a lot of phrases, and you can see that in the teaser. That's, a lot of times I'm watching them, and I've played this so much that I can recite back the teaser as it's playing along. So
I love it. And Dark Adam Studios, that's the name of
my company.
Your
yes.
company, and that's located here in Baton Rouge.
Here in Baton Rouge.
Here in Baton Rouge. So what does it mean to you just to be producing your own films right here in your own city?
Wow. Well, you know, I've been doing film for about 20 years now, a little over 20 years, and I feel like a lot of people know they're inspired by the things that I do, and a lot of people give me good feedback, and that kind of like gives me that drive to keep on going. Even though this is something that I wanted to do since I was 5 years old, it's been a passion. It's always been a passion of mine, and I feel like it's just. I mean, I don't have any words for the way I feel about that.
Now, really quickly, what can we expect more from Dark Adam Studios coming up?
Well, we actually have comic books. We have the series called Dope Smack, and it's a film that we're producing with Dark Adam Studios, and we're gonna do Kid Paranormal 2, and I have another couple of films that I don't, we haven't have the pipeline, but I'm not really gonna say the names yet. But
okay, well, thank you guys for joining me, Joe,
thank
Adison.
You for having us.
Thank you so much. You can catch the trailer right now. It's available on YouTube. Of course, this film will release next year in 2026. Stay right there. We have more news, weather, and traffic coming up after the break.